Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Marine X back at it again. The gear of the year. This is going to be more for the on-body gear of the year. I think we can maybe do another video because I got a lot of gear that just can't make this video. Otherwise, the video will be long AF. This one's going to be primarily flashlights, watches, knives, wallets, that type of stuff. Okay, we'll probably do another video where we talk about flashlights again, but like flashlights that clip onto my bag or clip onto my plate carrier. Those type of categories. We'll talk about my favorite slings and backpacks for this year, trousers and boots. I think we'll save that for another video. But for this one, this is kind of the on-body tier 1 carrier. We're going to talk about the winner ups, my favorite. So grab your cup of Joe or whatever, and let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so let's just start off with a category that I pushed pretty hard this year. This video is not sponsored, but I did want to talk about some areas where I really thought it was prudent to really try to get you guys to get away from carrying a smartwatch. Okay. Now, please don't get it twisted. I own a smartwatch. This is the Google Pixel Watch 3. I got the 45 millimeter. Okay. I own a smartwatch. I'm not saying they're the worst things ever. The reason I don't wear a smartwatch all day long is because for survival purposes, I think an analog watch is much better. It's much easier to use, it faster, in my opinion. But when I go to sleep, I normally put a smartwatch on. I like it for sleep tracking. And I normally will wear a smartwatch when I go rucking, okay, or if I'm cutting the grass. So that's smartwatch is great for step counters. But when it comes to everything else, I like a traditional, old school type of watch. We're going to talk about it, a couple of categories here. This one here, this is the Benrus Type 1C. So it's the Type 1 reissue, but they made a colored version. So Benrus, old school watch company from the 60s and 70s, used to issue watches to Navy SEALs and to Navy captains. And I like the fact that this thing does have, not only does on the bevel, it has the markers, but the markers are labeled from 0 until the 20-minute mark. So it's easily to 100% faster when you pass time. So if I want to know how long I've been doing a task, so lately I've been potty training the kiddo, I can easily just kind of move this. And I also like the fact that this bevel is bi-directional instead of just unidirectional. But I can put it here. I'll say I want to sit down at the potty with my son. You know, I can just move the bezel over that fast and track 5 minutes. And I know when 5 minutes has passed. I like the look of this watch. I did not like it at first when it was sent out, but it has grown on me so much. I like the way the dial looks. I just like the lume on it. And I like the fact that this thing has it's Swiss made. It has a Swiss movement, an automatic movement. It's very well made. It has 20 millimeter bands on it, which means you can swap this out with any common bands. It has the quick release bands on it. I think it's really great, but it's in third place mainly because of pricing. I think is around normally MSRP is around the $1,600 mark. So it can be a pricey boy. But next to it, second place, is going to be the Presadis. This is the Rec Spec Popcorn Edition. I don't know if you can tell the popcorn. It has like little specks of white popcorn on the black dial itself, on the face itself. I like this a lot because it does have the calendar, the date calculation in the day. So I can tell it's the Wednesday the 18th. I do like that the bezel or the sapphire is like this lip on it when it comes to the dome crystal on there. And it's an automatic movement, and it's normally coming in less than $300. That's kind of a nice steal of a deal for an automatic movement. There are a few things about it that it is clear why they were able to get this to be a budget automatic movement. The face of it does have some scratches on it from very light wear. I don't know, you can see it kind of that light there. And this isn't my everyday driver. I normally will I have a Benrus watch that's not pictured here, which is kind of like a watch I hard use, and the next watch is my hardest use. So that kind of made me draw a pause, the fact that it does have that scratch. But other than that, it also is rocking 20 millimeter bands. It comes with really nice vulcanized rubber tropical bands. So I thought that was very, very nice. So Presadis is another old school company that's doing military, like not necessarily reissues, but field watches that have flavor. But the one that takes the crown is going to be the USA assembled. This is the C5 Tactical Solar Field Watch by Vaer. Now, Vaer has sponsored videos in the past. They're not sponsoring this one. I just really like this watch. It's a quartz movement instead of an automatic. I would be interested in getting the automatic because I like this one so much. This one just has the date calculation and not just the day on there. Very good loom on this. Normally you can get it less than 300 bucks. Check the links in the description down below. Any discounts I can get you guys. I know you can use code MX10 and get 10% off of this one, but they're doing like holiday specials as well. It comes with two straps. So I have the tropical strap here, and you can choose like a cloth strap, or you can upgrade straps like the NATO strap, or get yourself a leather strap, 20 millimeter as well. So all these watches can be exchanged. All these watch bands can be exchanged by 3 different companies. I like 20 millimeters. This is a nice sweet spot for it. And I think this thing looks the best on the wrist. Like, this is one watch where if I had to just go with one watch, especially for this being pointed down to survival situations, it would probably be the C5 Tactical Solar. The only difference I might say is if I can get it in an automatic. I like the way automatic moves, but this one, literally 6 hours of sunlight will get you 6 months of reserve time with this watch. If I put this watch in my drawer and I don't touch it for a couple of months, I pull it out, it's still ticking, it's still going. I can't say that about some of its competitors, so that's kind of going to be my go-to. Let's move on to the wallet category. All right, so we're going to first start off with the Axwell wallet. Now, the Axwell wallet I first reviewed in October of 2022. So you may ask yourself, well, why is it third? And I've tested tons of wallets. It's because they've done slight modifications. They've widened this hole just a little bit, makes it even easier to grip. They came out with new variations. You see here, I have the carbon fiber edition, but they haven't really strayed. And they also make the magnet stronger on these replaceable plates here. So I thought that the subtle changes kind of warranted me to take another look at it this year. And I like the improved hold. It makes it that much easier to get your cards out. Built-in money strap is still good. And the pricing has done nothing but get better and better and better. You normally can get this. Well, this is the carbon fiber one, so it might be closer to like the $85 mark. But you normally can get these, especially with my link in the description, for between 45, 85 bucks. And it holds plenty of cards. So that's going to be third place. We got to talk about second place. This is the Dango. This is their A-frame, their A-series wallet. And I like this one because it is very interchangeable. You can buy different backs. So this one is, I think this is I want to say I forget what material this is made of, but you can get different materials. You can get it made of leather. You can swap it out. It has that pull feature, which you see in a lot of wallets nowadays. But what I like about this a lot is this face here is exchangeable for whatever cards you want to use. So this one, I have the walnut face on here, but if I really want to, I could take this out and I could swap it. This is the one big feature with the A10 series with a G10 face. So just like that, I've changed the look of the wallet. It just kind of works really, really well. So I like that a lot. The wallet I've used the most has to be the Proof wallet. This wallet here was sent to me by Proof. I've been using it a ton, and it's probably, this wallet is the wallet I've had the least this year and I've used the most. And now I can kind of show you what the wear and tear will look like on your Proof wallet. They do have that bomb-proof warranty though, right? Here you see a little thread is kind of coming loose there, constant pulling. So if I can cut it and burn it, which is probably what I'm going to do. But if I really wanted to, I could just send this in for them to take a look at. And on the other side, you can see a little bit of thread action going on right there. But I'm telling you, it's still a fantastic wallet. I tested this in comparison to a Ridge that I have, and I just kept coming back to the Proof over and over and over again. So that's going to be my number one. So we'll just kind of put my number one items. Let's take the watch off, because as much as I like the watch, we'll take it off and kind of set it where it needs to be. Okay, so we have the watch, we have the wallet. Let's take a look at flashlights. Now, flashlights are a little bit different of a category because I know I'm primarily talking about flashlights that go on the body. I'm going to save for another video, keychains and bags and all that other type of stuff. But we'll also talk about my favorite tactical, which sometimes I will carry around with me if I have a lot to do that day. So let's first talk about the tactical flashlights. First, I have the Sofrin. This is the IF24R. This is an 1800 lumen flashlight, which has some unique features to it. First, it has a lockout mode, which means you can't turn it on. I like that. And then when you switch it on, it goes into the front lens element here. You switch it here, it goes to an RGB mode, and the RGB mode can be cycled through kind of by just holding down the middle button and go through the different RGB colors. And then here, you turn it one more time, you get an inspection light, and the inspection light can be turned down with that same button, turned up with that button. So this was a very unique flashlight. The thing I don't like about it is the pocket clip is pretty trash. It's not the best. I mean, it's strong, but it just feels like you can break it. If it can't, it comes off pretty easily when you're trying to put it on like an iFat or your plate carrier. And the ergonomics are not that comfortable. I like the fact, I think they put an 18650 battery in this, which means that you can swap it out pretty easily. Yeah, it's an 18650 in here. So you can swap it out pretty easily on the go. It charges with USB Type-C. But I do believe that for this to be this type of shape, they missed a mark on a couple of things. This probably could have had a magnetic side, or I don't know if the magnet could have been strong enough for the back, but at least a magnetic side, because when you have a light like this, you want to use it like a work light. And I want to stick it onto a dryer or stick it onto a piece of stainless steel or whatever and use it as a work light. The only way I can use that is by standing it up. And it works, but in a lot of scenarios, that just is not enough, or using the pocket clip. So I think that was an area that they could have used for improvement. And in ergonomics, I think they could have got softer edges on this. This is almost, it goes beyond a 90-degree. Like it's tough in your hands for an extended amount of time. The next one was a little bit more difficult. This is the Nikkor EDC29, 6,000 lumens on the turbo mode. There's like, I think, a 4,000 lumen mode for the lumen shield. This is a great flashlight. It has a lockout mode. It's very easy to use. It is a fantastic flashlight for what you're getting. And I like the fact that this thing here has a fantastic ergonomic feel. The only reason it's second instead of first is because for extended use in your hand, the pocket clip does kind of dig right near where my ring finger and my pinky finger lie. And that kind of is an issue. And it's primarily wants to be used or above your shoulder. It's not the best flashlight for use in front of you like this. Like, changing the modes is not as easy as that. So that's something I would have liked to see some improvements. And finally, the lockout button on the side is not labeled. And when I don't use this every day, I totally forget which way is locked and which way is not. So just first world problems, but just something to bring up. And then, but I got to talk about the number one in this category. This is what I would call my plate carrier, sometimes on body, but not so much flashlight. This is the Fenix PD36R Pro. This hasn't changed since I did my best flashlights of the year video earlier this year. It's a great flashlight. For a while, I had the 35 Pro. That's a great flashlight as well. This is 2,800 lumens. This is using a 21700 battery, and it's just barely bigger than the Nikkor EDC29, which kind of works out for me. I like to use this thing, especially rucking, hiking, all that type of stuff, for those extended walks because of its actual beam distance. But I really like the Fenix, the Fenix PD36R Pro. If you had to just get a one and done flashlight, this is way too big for the pocket, but then it's not. It's kind of way too big for a pouch, but then it's not. It's just a flashlight that I quite enjoy. I think that Fenix hit it out the park with this one. This is a replacement for the the PD36R. The Pro just brings the better tail switch, more tactile. It brings the momentary switch, which I'm a big fan of. And I like the fact that this thing just is a beast. This is the type of flashlight that I throw in a plate carrier, throw in a bag, toss across a room, and I don't care that it's getting beat up. And it is using a 21700 battery, which means it's a beast of a battery in regards to being able to just have a nice long battery life. This is the flashlight I like to bring with me if I'm going to be going on my one wheel. I'm going to be using any of my rucking gear. This thing lives on my plate carrier and I use the most. So that is, we'll just kind of put it up here because it's kind of it's a flashlight. Actually, it's the flashlight for the tactical flashlight, but it's not an everyday flashlight. We're going to talk about the pocketable everyday flashlights. We're going to start off by talking about kind of like the least to most favorite. We're gonna the Olight Seeker for Mini. I like this flashlight. I didn't think I was gonna enjoy it so much. I had the Seeker 4 Pro, which is its big brother. It had a nice holster, had USB Type-C charging on the holster itself. And this one here is an improvement from the Seeker 3 because they changed this button. They made it a little bit easier, more tactical, a tactile feeling when you use this button itself. And I like this. I like the fact that it has God tier moonbeam mode. One of my favorite things when it comes to Olight. Olight flashlights, especially if you own a lot of them, they're easy to remember how to use. You know, hold it down for 2 seconds to get the moonlight mode. You know, double tap to go into to immediate brightness. Triple tap to go to strobe mode. Like it's easy to remember how to use the Olight, but it has to be third because of the proprietary charger and the proprietary battery. Like this thing, without buying an adapter, I can't even put this onto my battery cradle, which is how I normally charge batteries as small as these small 18 350s all the way up to my 21 700s. They all fit in the same battery cradle, except for my Olight. I have to kind of like rig it up just to make it work, but it's still a fantastic flashlight. I love the actual aesthetics on this. And it's just a great EDC flashlight if you're already into the Olight community. Now we're going to talk about one banger that works out for me quite a bit. This is the Ace Beam. This is the Pocket Light AA. Now, this one is a $70 because it's a titanium build flashlight. It does include a rechargeable battery, which is the size of a AA battery. If you don't have your charger or that battery is dead or whatever, you can always just pop a AA battery into this. That's why it's called the Pocket AA. I'm a big fan of it. It has a fantastic tactical switch on the back. And the reason that this thing is not my favorite is because it doesn't really have a momentary feature. So whenever I go to turn this on, every time I push that mode, it actually changes the brightness. So I can't use a momentary switch. I like that. But other than that, I like the aesthetics of it. If you're trying to find yourself a titanium flashlight, you want to spend less than all of its competitors, this is one to consider. But we got to talk about the number one pocket flashlight for me this year. It was the Nikkor EDC 23. Now, I talked about earlier on its big brother. It's hard to remember the lockout mode. Still a complaint with this one. I totally forget which way is locked and which way is not. Okay. And the pocket clip is the same complaint, but because this one's a little bit smaller, this one ends up, instead of falling between my ring and my pinky, it actually lives on the bottom of my hand itself, and it's a full palmable light. This is a great flashlight. It has all the features that I want. I like the fact that when it's not in lockout mode, you can pre-select which lumens you want. So I can just go through the lumen selector and say, okay, I want 1100 lumens before I even turn it on. As soon as I turn it on, it goes to 1100 lumens. You can also it has a momentary switch mode of 15 lumens, which is good, even while the flashlight is on. So that's 1100 lumens. The momentary switch is still 15 lumens. All sorts of great features. This thing can bust itself up to 2500 lumens for the turbo mode. It's a great flashlight. And the only complaint I had about this is battery life, but it's a fantastic flashlight. And it is the winner for my pocketable flashlight. So we're coming together quite nicely here. We got to talk about knives. And first we're going to talk about the budget category. For me, budget, and I go by budget. For when I use the word budget, I like to say 2 hours of your salary pay is a budget knife. Okay. You make $10 an hour, a $20 knife, that's a budget knife. Okay. You can get the Walmart knife and it's less than $20 and it's a decent knife. I've seen a lot of reviews on it. If you make $50 an hour, a budget knife is $50 or below. So for me, I'm keeping in the reality that most Americans make about $50,000 a year. That's about $25 an hour. So that would be budget. High end would be, 80, 90. So we're going to just kind of keep it at that. We're going to say this is the high end of the budget, but I just really like this Kubi. This is the Vagrant. This is a Thocky knife. I have the one that has my Carter scales. They have so many different variations of this. It has beautiful different hardware on it. The pivot, the actual pocket clip itself. It's a liner lock, but it's a fantastic knife that is using Austrian M390 blade steel. And you're getting this for less than $100 normally. Like, I think this is a lot of knife for less than $100. Get yourself used to a thumb hole versus a flipper. It just has a great thock sound to it. Sometimes I misfire when opening this. That's kind of like my only complaint. I think if I carried this every single day, I wouldn't have that complaint, but I like this. And it's just a very, very good knife overall. The jipping on it, the blade shape, it's fantastic. I'm going to say second place is going to be, this is the Yonder by Civivi. Civivi's first venture into a crossbar lock, and it has a great pull down. It has a great thumb stud. A few complaints I've had about it is the stabilized wood version. I know the more you carry it, the more it begins to gather the oils from your hand and patina and easier to grip. But out the box, compared to some of its competitors like Benchmade, like some stuff I have from Kaiser, the wood is kind of slippery. Okay, I know that would change over time. And then the thumb stud itself, just I wish I had a little bit more jipping on it. It's a little bit sometimes easy to misfire with this. And this knife itself is very nice, but I've misfired a couple of times because I just kind of wish there was a little bit more jipping on the thumb stud. It's a spade type shape blade, first type of shape blade I've had for that. Very fidgety type of knife. But we got to talk about, for me, still the budget knife of the year. This thing came out months ago. CJRB Pyrite Light hashtag bars. They know they got to hit with this. They just came out with this with S90V. They just came out with a Pyrite Light large. Like, they are hitting it out the park with the Pyrite Light. And they have it with the thumb stud. I think they're about to come out with the Pyrite Light with the thumb hole. And I don't know if they're going to keep the button lock. I don't know if they're going to switch it up, but this is a hit. This is FRN scales, fiberglass reinforced nylon scales. You normally can get this for $30. Great $30 knife, plenty of thock to it. I'm giving some of these away at a white elephant Christmas party in a couple of days. People are going to be like, oh my God, you got a knife. This is so great. And they don't know that this thing costs $30 and it is worth all 30 of your American dollars. So for my budget knife, we're going to put you right there because it's still a freaking fantastic banger. Now we're going to talk about higher end knives. These are some knives that you get. You already got your budget. You're thinking about a knife that you can pull out. It looks elegant, or it's just something you enjoy using, or whatever the case may be. First, we are going to start off with the Benchmade 710. Now, I wanted to start with this because the Benchmade 710 was Benchmade's very first axis lock issued knife once they rolled that out to the world, and it just took the world by storm. It is very fitting that Benchmade reintroduces the axis lock and their subtle changes that they made by bringing back the 710. There's a slight little ramp on the pull down to access the crossbar lock, and it's fantastic. It just feels completely different. This is a big knife. Like, it rivals the size of my Crooked River, of my full size Adamas. It is a very big knife. It has aluminum scales. It is rocking the S90V blade steel. It does have the, I like the stylized look of this knife. It looks very, very good. It's third place because of the pricing. I think this thing easily comes in around the $300 mark. And that's kind of price. Listen, it does have great CNC machining on these aluminum scales, but they're aluminum scales. They're going to take bumps and bruises different than titanium. And if you're spending this type of money, now I understand it does have great liners. It feels like a freaking brick. Like, it feels like I could fold this knife up, put it in my hand, and get in a fist fight, and it's going to help me win the fist fight. It just feels that reinforced. It has a fantastic pocket clip. I think it has a good look to it, but it is pricey. Fantastic thumb stud, makes it easy to use no matter what you got going on. And it's kind of big, but I like this knife a ton. But I will tell you this, one of my most pocketed knives. I haven't even done a video on this knife yet. It has thock to it. It feels good in the hand. This is the Three Rivers Manufacturing Bulldog. The Bulldog has these grippy G10 scales that are not here to flash bang you. They're not here to freaking knock your socks off. This is a knife that's ready to work. Their version of the crossbar lock has fantastic. I've had several versions of the TRMs crossbar locks. I love the actual pull down to access their locks. I think it's really good. They fixed my issues I had with the TRM Nerd, which is they made the actual hole more accessible. I can fire this thing off almost all day long. Now, I have the version that is using the CPM 20CV. Shout out Crucible. Hopefully everybody's doing good out there in the for Upper New York area. But they also made this a Magna cut. I'm fine with the 20 CV. It's a fantastic workhorse. It does have a just a great usage for it. It has a just the lock itself is fantastically made. I think that this is a great knife. Second place though, because at the end of the day, it is made in America, just like the Benchmade. This one here, though, I think is on the pricier side, and availability is a little bit harder. That's kind of why it's second place. It could easily be my first place if we kind of adjust the price. I don't remember the price off the top of my head. Both of those were sent to me, so I don't even know what the prices are. But we're going to talk about my favorite, which I can't believe I'm making this my favorite, I say premium knife, because this is the CRKT Q Compact. Now, I have the Q premium or folder, or whatever the hell they call it, which is the titanium with the carbon fiber inlays. It's a fantastic knife. It's a frame lock, but you're spending, you are spending a little bit more money, not a lot more money to get that knife. But this knife here gets all the jobs done that I needed to do. And it's a fantastic little knife. And I like the fact that this one is coming in as a Richard Rogers design. He's been banging out some fantastic designs for CRKT. The only thing I would say about this one, it is using S35VN blade steel. In the price point, I still think S35VN is a super steel, maybe of old, everybody and their mom nowadays wants some type of crucible this or Magna cut that or whatever, which is by crucible. But I still think it's a great knife to use because it's not that big of a knife. I like to just take this out at a moment's notice and use it. It has like these little indentions on the actual side of the blade, which makes it fantastic for flicking this thing out. It has a great thock sound similar to the Vagrant by Kubi. And I like you can use the flipper as well if you're old school, but it has two different sounds no matter which one you use. If you use the flipper, it has a different sound. If you use the actual, just like it has a unique character to the knife. It has aluminum scales with G10 inlays. You cannot see any of the hardware, obviously, except for the pivot. And I think it just has this slick look to it, kind of like a slick back. Just looks really, really good. Very subtle branding. I think that it looks good in the hand. I like this knife a lot. It's easy, one of those knives I could just have and be told, this is the only knife you can carry this year X. Are you okay with that? I will be okay with it, okay? This is the on-body best gear of the year for me. Comment down below, what's your favorite gear of the year? Which one of these are you a fan of? There's so many more that were not included. Shout out to all the fantastic. This was the year of the knife. 2024 was the year of the knife. Affordable knives, durable knives, 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 knives. This is your first time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.